The traditional social matrix systematically conditions women to internalize a dangerous fairy tale where real security is defined by a wealthy partner who covers every bill. You are taught from early childhood to view absolute financial reliance as the ultimate romantic achievement, dreaming of a provider who completely eliminates your need to build personal leverage. This passive posture effortlessly transforms a capable woman into an overly accommodating partner, inducing her to lower her personal requirements to keep the peace. By trading your professional drive for temporary comfort, you enter a psychological arrangement where your boundaries carry no real weight because you lack an immediate exit strategy. When your daily survival is entirely tied to a man's financial choices, you gradually silence your natural instincts and give up your sovereign control. True empowerment vanishes the moment you convince yourself that ignoring your financial potential is an acceptable price to pay for a relationship. This nice girl conditioning forces you to remain endlessly agreeable, sweet, and quiet about your goals out of fear of appearing too independent or difficult to manage. A partner naturally maps his daily behavior according to your level of actual leverage, and when he realizes you have nowhere to go, his motivation to maintain high standards drops. Relying on a man to fund your existence trains your subconscious mind to accept total compliance, leaving you entirely unprotected against sudden behavioral shifts or casual disrespect. The black cat approach demands that you secure your own financial baseline, turning your relationship into an active, conscious choice rather than an unavoidable strategy for financial survival. Society works overtime to mold women into natural people-pleasers who apologize for having individual space, personal career targets, or independent financial ambitions. From a young age, you are praised for being accommodating, for diminishing your position to make a partner comfortable, and for accepting mediocre conditions without making a scene. This submissive programming teaches you to say yes when your entire being is screaming no, forcing you to suppress your standards just to maintain a fragile connection. You are conditioned to believe that presenting a perfectly low-maintenance personality will guarantee a man's lifelong loyalty and protective intent. In reality, being the endlessly understanding woman who asks for nothing simply signals to a low-effort partner that your presence carries no value. When you buy into the submissive myth that a woman should never worry about generating income, you build a lifestyle entirely dependent on a man's continued good behavior. This conditioning trains you to hand over your material leverage under the illusion of romance, leaving you completely exposed when his true nature finally reveals itself. The nice girl blueprint makes you feel guilty for keeping your accounts separate or for investing your time into building personal financial security outside the relationship. You are taught to treat his financial dominance as a badge of honor, failing to realize that total economic dependence quietly strips away your capacity to stand firm in your standards. The moment you drop your professional ambitions to become completely provided for, you willingly walk into a beautifully decorated trap. The cultural narrative consistently rewards the golden retriever approach, urging women to invest all their daily energy into supporting a man's career while completely neglecting their own professional growth. You are told that being a supportive partner means disappearing into his shadow, trusting him blindly with your financial survival, and ignoring the vital need for an independent backup plan. This harmful conditioning leaves countless women completely lost when a relationship suddenly falls apart or transforms into an emotionally toxic environment. Society shames women who demand financial transparency or who refuse to compromise their professional drive for a partner's comfort, labeling them as selfish or overly transactional. By accepting this flawed societal programming, you voluntarily surrender your leverage and leave your long-term safety entirely up to luck. When you operate under the cultural expectation that a man should be your sole financial strategy, you trap yourself in a cycle of performative compliance and constant hesitation. You stop speaking up when your boundaries are crossed, because your subconscious mind constantly calculates the financial damage of a potential disagreement. This submissive habit forces you to walk on eggshells, tailoring your mood, your opinions, and your behavior to match his expectations just to keep your lifestyle secure. You become the quiet, adjustable partner who tolerates poor communication and bad behavior because you simply cannot afford to open the door and let him go. Reclaiming the power of the black cat requires you to completely reject this passive programming and realize that your financial autonomy is absolutely mandatory. The illusion of a stress-free life funded by a male savior completely blinds you to the fact that money represents absolute power, authority, and control within a domestic dynamic. When you have no separate funds, you are forced to ask for permission for basic life choices, rendering your personal sovereignty entirely non-existent. The cultural push to make women dependent ensures they remain manageable, predictable, and compliant under the threat of losing financial support. You are told that a good woman trusts her partner completely with her financial destiny, but blind trust without personal leverage is nothing more than a recipe for total surrender. True confidence is impossible to maintain when you must constantly audition for a permanent role in a man's world just to secure your material survival. Some modern institutions still reinforce the submissive idea that a woman's highest achievement is to find a provider who will completely remove her from the economic playing field. This conditioning glosses over the harsh reality that when a woman stops making her own money, she loses her factual capacity to enforce high-standard dynamics. You are trained to prioritize a man's comfort over your own economic safety, giving away your professional position to become a beautiful ornament in his curated world. This passive lifestyle erodes your internal authority, making you dependent on his validation and his resources just to feel secure in your daily environment. The Black Cat completely shatters this conditioning by recognizing that independent capital is the ultimate foundation of true self-respect and sovereign freedom. A woman who relies entirely on a man's financial goodwill is always one behavioral shift away from losing her peace of mind and her structural stability. Society wants you to believe that asking for your own financial freedom is a sign of distrust, using guilt to keep you from establishing separate, untouchable resources. This manipulation forces millions of highly capable women to stay in disrespectful relationships because they lack the practical resources required to fund their next chapter. You must realize that the nice girl conditioning is designed to benefit everyone except you, trading your long-term sovereignty for short-term material convenience. Rejecting this submissive matrix means choosing to build your own wealth, secure your own milestones, and maintain total command over your material destiny. If you are realizing how vital it is to permanently break free from this submissive matrix, secure your absolute independence, and step into your true power, take action right now. Subscribe to this channel immediately to ensure you never miss our upcoming strategic presentations, and help us build this powerful community of independent women by giving a thumbs up and supporting the content.
Why Chloe filed for divorce.
Chloe felt entirely secure in her relationship until the final wedding celebrations concluded, and the daily routines of shared marriage began to take shape. She experienced a sudden change in her husband's attitude the moment he observed her reviewing financial ledgers and tax accounts for her role as a corporate accounting analyst. He began dropping subtle hints designed to spark guilt, implying that her deep commitment to her office projects was an insult to his ability to provide for the household. He constantly pressured her to hand in her resignation letter, confidently promising that his income could easily cover their premium lifestyle and protect her from work stress. Chloe felt a brief temptation to accept this comfortable arrangement, but her inner boundaries immediately rejected the trap. She loved her career, refused to give up her financial autonomy, and declined to place her daily survival into his hands. The domestic environment became increasingly cold and difficult as her husband realized his money could not buy her compliance or limit her personal freedom. He gradually exposed a deeply jealous nature, showing intense frustration whenever Chloe left the house to lift weights at the gym or enjoy a dinner date with her best friends. He attempted to monitor her schedule, demanding explanations for her long hours at the firm and questioning her dedication to their marriage. Chloe refused to engage in long verbal justifications or loud emotional arguments. She simply stated her standards with absolute clarity and continued focusing on her professional goals. She observed his controlling behavior with a calm, unbothered posture, recognizing that his desire to cover every single bill was an attempt to purchase absolute dominance over her life. 10 months into the marriage, Chloe discovered undeniable evidence of a betrayal on his laptop, confirming that he was secretly violating her trust while trying to keep her isolated. The discovery caused a sharp wave of disappointment, but she refused to let the temporary pain dictate her immediate reactions or ruin her strategic focus. She did not scream, throw objects, or waste her energy demanding performative apologies from a man who had broken his marital contract. She quietly opened her private banking application, confirmed her separate resources were entirely secure, and contacted her parents to outline her exit plan. Because they had no children, and she had protected her independent corporate income, Chloe possessed the immediate practical leverage to execute a clean break. She knew that holding her own capital was the only reason she could prioritize her safety without hesitation. The following morning, Chloe packed her essential belongings with steady hands while her husband was working at his office, maintaining an entirely serene demeanor. She did not leave a lengthy explanation or an emotional letter, because a sovereign woman never negotiates with a partner who has proven to be unqualified. When he found out about her exit and attempted to use intimidation to force a reconciliation, his words carried absolutely no leverage against her financial security. Chloe looked him directly in the eye, communicating her terms with crisp assertion. She walked away from the relationship without a single backward glance, completely secure in the reality that her lifestyle was fully funded by her own efforts. The legal dissolution of the marriage was completed with fast precision, because Chloe did not depend on his signature to cover her daily survival costs. She secured a modern apartment near her office, immediately channeling her focus into her corporate accounting projects and her consistent strength training routines. Her mother and father provided a solid framework of emotional support, while her friends ensured her weekend social schedule remained active and fulfilling. Chloe demonstrated to her circle that choosing self-prioritization does not mean you do not experience heartbreak, but it means you refuse to let that pain compromise your standards. Her life returned to a state of absolute harmony and abundance, proving that her internal stability was entirely self-generated and independent of a companion. Chloe emerged from the transition as a far more formidable individual, who understood that financial independence is a mandatory shield against domestic manipulation. She continued to excel within her corporate firm, expanding her financial portfolio and hitting major professional targets that had nothing to do with male validation. When her ex-husband attempted to send desperate messages weeks later, she collected her energy and ignored his presence with complete detachment. She was happy alone, entirely complete within her own environment, and utterly unbothered. Chloe protected her identity and her long-term freedom simply because she refused to surrender her economic independence to a partner who wanted a submissive woman.
Money is the ultimate boundary.
Your financial independence is the ultimate, non-negotiable boundary that ensures you are never forced to accept a dynamic that devalues your presence. When you earn your own money, you remove the dangerous leverage an insecure partner can use to quietly dictate your personal choices or restrict your freedom. True authority means knowing that your survival, your comfort, and your long-term security do not depend on a man's unpredictable mood swings or changing affection. A sovereign woman never allows a nice lifestyle to blind her to the dangerous trap of complete economic reliance. You must build your own secure foundation, so that you can walk away from mediocrity the exact second your standards are crossed. When you possess your own separate income, you completely change the energetic balance of your relationship and stop acting like a submissive pleaser. A man immediately senses when a woman has nowhere else to go, and he subconsciously adjusts his level of effort downward because he knows she cannot leave. Economic reliance forces many women to overlook blatant disrespect, hide their true ambitions, and constantly walk on eggshells inside their own homes. You do not enter the modern dating market looking for a financial rescue package, because you have already funded your own thriving existence. Your money represents your absolute sovereign right to say a firm, definitive no whenever a connection no longer honors your true value. Stop sacrificing your professional development and long-term career goals to accommodate the fragile ego of a partner who wishes to keep you small. A secure man, with a true provider mindset, feels immense pride when he sees your individual drive, your focus, and your financial autonomy. He recognizes that you are with him out of genuine desire and compatibility, rather than financial desperation or a basic need for survival. When you actively build your own wealth, You become a highly interesting and multidimensional force with a clear individual path. You do not stay in toxic environments out of pure economic necessity. Observe the quiet majesty of a solitary panther, moving through her chosen territory with complete focus, total grace, and an undeniable aura of absolute self-reliance. She does not look around, waiting for another creature to provide her daily sustenance, or give her permission to occupy her powerful space. Like the feline, your actions must be incredibly deliberate, strategic, and completely free from the anxiety that defines a dependent mindset. When your boundaries are violated, you do not cause a dramatic scene or waste your breath on circular arguments. You simply execute a flawless, silent departure. Your financial independence provides the exact platform that allows you to pack your things and leave forever. Never make the catastrophic mistake of handing over your entire financial future to a partner, under the beautiful illusion of a permanent fairy tale romance. Human nature is highly unpredictable, and a man who behaves like a sweet prince today can easily transform into a controlling nightmare tomorrow. Having your own independent source of revenue ensures that you are never left completely lost and stuck if the relationship dynamic shifts into a prison. You must maintain a fierce commitment to your independent wealth, regardless of how much a provider wants to spend on you or facilitate your daily life. True, unbothered power means you are the sole author of your financial destiny and the ultimate gatekeeper of your lifestyle. A sovereign woman builds a complete and highly rewarding life that includes a stable career, deep family connections, and supportive friendships outside her relationship. You actively nurture your physical health, pursue your personal goals, and experience profound inner peace without needing external validation to feel whole. Your world does not stop spinning when a man decides to withdraw his attention or resources, because your schedule is filled with meaningful projects and personal milestones. You refuse to accept the role of a passive placeholder, because you are entirely too busy commanding your own autonomous empire with total focus. When someone enters your life, they are entering a fully established kingdom that does not require their capital to keep thriving. Your money is the physical manifestation of your personal freedom, your self-worth, and your ultimate protection against any form of domestic control. When you take total charge of your financial growth, you send a clear message that your compliance can never be bought or negotiated. You enjoy the luxury of being spoiled and taken care of, but you always keep your resources completely separate as a necessary shield. This precise balance of emotional detachment and economic self-sufficiency is the core foundation that keeps low-effort opportunists away from your life. You hold the true power of the black cat because your peace of mind is entirely funded by your own brilliant mind. When you walk through the world with a strong, independent career, your confidence shifts and you no longer operate from a place of romantic lack. You stop chasing male approval as a metric for your success and start measuring your life by the quality of your personal achievements. This internal strength changes how you respond to early red flags, allowing you to communicate your standards with total clarity and zero fear. You do not tolerate lies, micro-cheating, or mediocre behavior, because you are not afraid of facing the world on your own 2 feet. Your security belongs solely to you, ensuring that your emotional stability remains perfectly intact regardless of who decides to stay or walk out. Economic independence allows a woman to love with maximum intensity, warmth, and vulnerability because her choice is rooted in total freedom. You do not stay with a partner because you need him to pay your rent or cover your daily expenses. You stay purely because he respects you. If that respect vanishes, your independent safety net gives you the immediate power to remove your energy without causing financial chaos in your life. You deserve an abundant existence where your choices are dictated by your true desires, rather than a desperate calculation for survival. Reclaim your economic sovereignty today, and watch how quickly a controlling man vanishes from your personal perimeter. Your personal transformation from a dependent pleaser into a completely autonomous black cat requires an absolute commitment to your own financial growth. You must stop waiting for a prince to build your estate and begin organizing your own investments, setting your own metrics, and hitting your career targets. This is the exact moment you reclaim your absolute sovereignty and step into a life of unbothered peace and permanent stability. Your independent future is far too valuable to be left in the hands of an unpredictable partner who might change his mind tomorrow. Take complete command of your career, your wealth, and your destiny, because your freedom is the most luxurious asset you will ever own. If you are completely done wasting your time on dead-end relationships and want to know exactly how to protect your peace of mind while building your financial autonomy, you need to read The Black Cat Playbook. This blueprint delivers direct, actionable answers to the hidden control dynamics men use and shows you exactly when a partner is simply exploiting your kindness. Stop guessing your next move and learn how to implement the precise psychological boundaries that force men to either step up or step out. Grab your copy right now through the official link in the description down below and take total command of your sovereignty.
The mindset of financial control.
The traditional psychological conditioning that forces a woman to seek financial rescue creates a deep state of learned helplessness. When you completely step away from your economic autonomy, your brain begins to internalize the false belief that you are naturally incapable of producing wealth on your own. This severe erosion of self-efficacy warps your entire decision-making process, causing you to view life from a permanent position of vulnerability and chronic anxiety. You stop treating your romance as an optional connection and start viewing it as an absolute survival mechanism. The golden retriever mindset thrives on this exact fear, convincing you to look for a protector while completely ignoring the high emotional cost of your submission. From a validated psychological perspective, a man who insists on total financial domination is often driven by an intense need for asymmetric power and control. In the initial phases of the connection, his desire to handle every single bill can easily disguise itself as traditional chivalry or a sweet fairy tale rescue. However, when a man realizes he holds full economic leverage, his subconscious behavior shifts because he knows you lack the immediate means to walk away. This uneven dynamic triggers his dark personality traits, allowing him to slowly push your personal boundaries and implement controlling patterns without facing any real consequences. He uses his resources to build an invisible cage, assuming your financial dependency will permanently guarantee your silence. When a woman operates with zero independent income, her mental health suffers as she becomes trapped in a continuous state of hypervigilance. You constantly analyze your partner's changing moods and fluctuating expressions because your physical comfort and daily stability depend entirely on his satisfaction. This heavy psychological burden drains your creative energy, lowers your natural self-confidence, and makes you feel like an anxious hostage in your own household. You find yourself suppressing your true thoughts, swallowing your completely valid complaints, and accepting poor treatment simply because you cannot finance a clean exit. Your identity becomes entirely secondary to his authority, leaving you detached from your own personal goals. The psychological landscape completely transforms the exact moment you adopt the secure posture of a sovereign black cat and earn your own money. Making your own wealth releases a powerful wave of self-assurance that rebuilds your internal confidence and eliminates the deep-seated fear of sudden abandonment. You no longer project a desperate aura of lack into the relationship, which forces your partner to recognize that your presence is an earned privilege rather than a permanent guarantee. This profound mental clarity allows you to perceive early red flags with absolute objectivity, because your financial stability is never tied to his temporary approval. You walk through the world experiencing a deep, serene peace of mind that changes how you are treated. When a highly secure, independent woman communicates her firm boundaries with total clarity, a controlling man experiences an immediate psychological shock. He quickly realizes that his money cannot be used as a tool for emotional leverage or manipulation. Because he cannot purchase your compliance or threaten your economic safety, his false sense of absolute dominance completely evaporates in your presence. An insecure individual will feel deeply threatened by your professional achievements because your financial autonomy deprives him of the toxic leverage he needs to feel powerful. His inability to control you forces him to either adjust his conduct upward or reveal his true manipulative nature very quickly. A cat does not look to other creatures to fund its presence or protect its territory, because its entire physical structure is built for absolute self-reliance. Like a feline, a sovereign woman maintains a secure, unbothered posture that is rooted in her own independent capabilities and personal strength. If her boundaries are violated, she does not engage in explosive emotional outbursts or loud, useless arguments. She simply prepares a clean, strategic departure. Your individual career acts as that exact psychological floor, allowing you to withdraw your valuable energy with maximum elegance and zero panic. Long-term economic dependence often leads to a severe identity crisis where a woman completely forgets her individual talents and grand ambitions. When you dedicate your entire mental focus to a relationship, you leave no leftover cognitive space to grow your own projects or celebrate private achievements. This uneven distribution of energy leaves you feeling profoundly unfulfilled, empty, and entirely centered around a man's daily schedule. A high-standard lifestyle requires a beautiful, fluid balance where your personal goals and connections flourish independently of your romantic status. Reclaiming your ability to produce income is the essential tool that protects your mental health and reconnects you to your true individual power. When a man possesses a healthy, secure masculine identity, your independent career and financial autonomy do not cause him any internal discomfort. Instead of attempting to shrink your stature, he feels genuine admiration for your drive, your intellect, and the beautiful lifestyle you maintain. He understands that your connection is built on clean, authentic choice rather than economic desperation, which naturally increases his respect for your boundaries. The relationship transforms into a space of mutual elevation, where your peace of mind is fully protected and your sovereignty is honored. The psychological impact of having your own separate reserve fund changes your underlying posture from a place of fear to absolute abundance. You stop being a vulnerable candidate for toxic control dynamics because you possess the undeniable strength of a woman who can walk away unharmed. This economic resilience allows you to engage in assertively honest communication, sharing your standards without the terrifying fear of financial retaliation. You love with maximum intensity, warmth, and genuine vulnerability, but you never gamble your permanent mental health on the unpredictable actions of a partner. Your independent foundation ensures that your internal throne remains completely stable, regardless of who chooses to exit your perimeter. Stepping into the full power of the black cat requires you to completely shatter the old societal conditioning that equates womanhood with financial submission. You must recognize that true mental sovereignty is entirely impossible if you leave the keys to your economic future in someone else's hands. By choosing to prioritize your career and build your own independent wealth, you protect your self-respect and guarantee your long-term mental safety. You become an active author of your own destiny, moving through the world with the unbothered serenity that defines a high-standard life. Take absolute command of your mind, your income, and your personal freedom today, because your autonomy is your most sacred possession.
The ultimate filter for smart women.
Evaluating a partner who provides resources requires you to immediately look past the superficial numbers and categorize his behavior into one of two distinct groups. A true facilitator is a high-value man who joyfully uses his economic strength to clear obstacles from your path, protect your peace of mind, and elevate your existing lifestyle. He views his financial contribution as a natural gift to the relationship, meaning he wants to make your daily life easier without demanding your personal submission in return. On the exact opposite side stands the dangerous drainer, who treats his bank account as an instrument of complete domestic dominance. This individual offers money solely to establish a toxic control dynamic, hoping his funding will buy your absolute compliance and keep you small. The critical distinction between these two profiles becomes clear when you analyze the psychological intent behind their financial interactions. A facilitator wants you to build your own career, secure your investments, and expand your individual goals, because your personal power actually enhances the partnership. He does not see your drive as a threat, because his masculine identity is perfectly secure and aligned with mutual evolution. A drainer, however, looks for ways to subtly dismantle your professional independence so that you are forced to rely entirely on his permission to survive. He utilizes the beautiful illusion of a fairy tale rescue to convince you to drop your ambitions, effectively isolating you from all external support networks. A high-standard woman understands that a man who behaves like the Prince Charming during the early dating phase can eventually reveal himself as a massive liability. For this exact reason, You must use your financial independence as a strict filter to test his true character before making a serious commitment. You never fully dissolve your financial footprint into his world, because you know that human nature can shift and masks eventually slip over time. Maintaining your separate financial assets guarantees that you can observe his reactions with total clarity and zero survival panic. The black cat does not guess his intentions. She creates a behavioral test by remaining fiercely ambitious and analyzing how his ego handles her autonomy. When a facilitator encounters a woman who possesses absolute financial sovereignty, his natural response is rooted in consistent admiration, respect, and increased devotion. He observes your unwavering commitment to your career milestones, and he feels entirely compelled to add major value to your kingdom. Your solid economic foundation does not diminish his desire to provide. Instead, it proves to him that you are choosing his company out of authentic attraction rather than economic necessity. He gladly steps in to alleviate daily friction, funding your personal comfort and supporting your private projects without attaching strings to his generosity. This healthy alignment creates a serene environment where you can truly thrive. Living with a genuine facilitator allows you to expand all other aspects of your life with complete freedom, total safety, and unwavering support. You continue hitting your professional targets and celebrating major milestones with your closest friends while he protects your perimeter. He never demands that you sacrifice your identity or trade your personal freedom in exchange for his financial assistance. The relationship feels light, cooperative, and incredibly rewarding because his resources act as a stable launching pad for your individual dreams. You remain completely whole on your own, experiencing a partnership that respects your sovereign right to command your own long-term destiny. A drainer who comes face-to-face with an independent woman will instantly display deep irritation, hidden resentment, and passive-aggressive behavior. The moment he realizes that your compliance cannot be purchased or controlled with his checkbook, his false sense of dominance completely evaporates. He will subtly criticize your career focus, question the necessity of your professional schedule, and try to convince you that your individual ambitions are a waste of energy. Your financial self-sufficiency triggers a profound fear of abandonment inside his insecure psychological structure because he lacks the economic leverage to keep you submissive. His inability to dictate your choices forces him to show his true colors. Remaining in a long-term relationship with a drainer leads to the complete systematic destruction of your psychological well-being and self-respect. If you fall into his trap and abandon your own career, you slowly transform into a fearful hostage who must beg for basic daily necessities. He will use his money as a weapon of behavioral manipulation, punishing your boundaries by withholding funds or creating massive domestic drama around expenses. This toxic leverage erases your self-confidence over time, leaving you trapped in a miserable domestic nightmare where you are entirely hostage to his rules. You find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, compromising your dignity simply because you cannot finance an exit. The concrete result of implementing black cat energy against a drainer is that his presence is quickly and permanently repelled from your personal perimeter. When he sees that you refuse to accept a submissive role, he realizes his manipulative tactics are entirely useless against you. A sovereign woman does not waste her breath throwing loud tantrums or engaging in endless circular arguments with a controlling man. You simply observe his negative reactions to your career success, realize he is a major drainer, and execute a firm, definitive exit. Your financial independence provides the exact economic floor that allows you to close that door forever without facing a financial crisis. No matter how wealthy a provider claims to be, a woman of substance never gambles her permanent mental safety on the unpredictable permanence of a man's promises. You must continue building your own assets, expanding your professional network, and keeping your separate reserve fund fully stocked at all times. These strict financial boundaries ensure that your survival is never up for negotiation with another person, regardless of how much love is present. You enjoy the luxury of being spoiled and taken care of by a high-value man, but you always retain the complete keys to your own freedom. Your economic autonomy is the ultimate security shield that filters out low-effort opportunists before they cause damage. The final realization of this behavioral filter is that your personal independence is the most luxurious and non-negotiable asset you will ever own. By refusing to let a partner become the sole gatekeeper of your lifestyle, You take absolute command of your destiny and protect your long-term serenity. You enter the modern dating landscape with a deep, serene confidence that completely changes how men approach your space. You are not a pick-me, begging to be rescued. You are a queen who demands mutual elevation and unwavering respect in every interaction. Keep your standards high, fund your own thriving world, and never allow a man's bank account to dictate the terms of your self-worth.
Your Playbook for Financial Independence.
The first step toward absolute economic sovereignty requires you to build total emotional independence to unlock the underlying confidence needed to secure your assets. You cannot successfully create individual wealth if your mind is constantly paralyzed by the deep fear of losing male approval or being left alone. Shifting your mental posture from a vulnerable place of lack to absolute abundance provides the mental stamina necessary to build your career without looking for an escape route. When you stop prioritizing a partner's comfort over your long-term goals, you naturally reclaim the vital energy required to organize your capital. True security begins when you build an unbreakable relationship with yourself and refuse to look for a financial savior. The second step requires you to audit your natural skills and transform something you are already exceptionally good at into a profitable income stream. Look closely at your personal strengths, your intellectual capabilities, and your unique creative talents to identify areas where you can produce autonomous value. A golden retriever woman often overlooks her own brilliant potential because she is too busy investing her time into a man's comfort and domestic needs. You must stop waiting for permission to build your wealth and begin treating your private skills as valuable assets that deserve to be commercialized. Turning your natural expertise into a scalable business or a strong career path ensures that you always maintain your own independent funds. The third step is to establish a strict operational plan with clear numbers, precise career targets, and an absolute timeline for your individual development. You must stop operating on vague hopes of future stability and start treating your financial growth with the same discipline you apply to other areas of your life. Set distinct goals for your savings accounts. Establish your personal revenue metrics, and design a strategic blueprint that belongs solely to you. Having a concrete plan removes the emotional confusion from your professional choices and keeps you focused on hitting your benchmarks every single day. This strategic structure ensures that your individual path remains entirely stable and secure, regardless of changing external circumstances. The fourth step demands that you completely stop investing your primary focus into your romantic relationships, so you can dedicate that massive energy to your career expansion. Many women systematically destroy their own professional growth by treating a connection as a full-time job that requires constant emotional labor and endless accommodations. You must stop checking screens for validation, drop the endless circular arguments, and redirect that valuable cognitive space back into your own projects. Prioritizing your work schedule and protecting your creative hours forces your environment to adjust to your high standards. When you center your day around your own career and ambitions, you build an enviable lifestyle that commands respect. The fifth step requires you to intentionally establish separate accounts and secure a private reserve fund that is entirely hidden from the perimeter of your relationship. You must create an absolute financial boundary that ensures your personal money is never mixed, monitored, or compromised by a partner's authority. This separate capital represents your private safety net, giving you the immediate power to say a firm, definitive no whenever your standards are violated. Even when experiencing a deeply supportive connection, a smart woman always maintains her individual resources completely intact as a necessary shield for her freedom. Protecting your money ensures that you never have to negotiate your dignity out of economic survival. The sixth step is to scale your individual autonomy by continuously investing in your professional development, network expansion, and long-term asset accumulation. You must refuse to settle for a comfortable plateau and keep pushing toward higher levels of income and absolute self-sufficiency over time. Build your investments, diversify your revenue streams, and ensure that your individual kingdom continues to grow stronger and more resilient each year. This relentless focus on personal advancement prevents you from falling back into the submissive patterns of dependence that ruin so many modern connections. You maintain total command of your life by making sure your personal freedom is always backed by real resources. Implementing these 6 strategic steps completely restructures your existence, turning you into a powerful force that cannot be bought, manipulated, or controlled. By actively taking charge of your financial growth from a place of emotional detachment, you secure your long-term serenity and elevate your self-worth. Your independent wealth serves as a permanent floor beneath your feet, allowing you to love with intensity while protecting your peace of mind. Commit to this blueprint today and watch how quickly you transform your reality into an empire of absolute autonomy.
The rewards of true self-reliance.
The tangible outcome of achieving your full financial independence is a life of profound stability, unbothered freedom, and immense personal pride. When you no longer look to a romantic relationship for economic survival, you unlock a clean, premium version of reality where every choice belongs solely to you. You wake up every morning experiencing a deep, refreshing sense of security, knowing that your lifestyle is fully supported by your own drive and intellect. This baseline of safety allows you to cultivate rewarding connections with your family, share genuine laughter with your closest friends, and focus on your career with maximum energy. You are completely happy and whole on your own, moving through the world with a calm, serene peace of mind that never hinges on a man's presence. Stepping completely out of the golden retriever patterns ensures that you never settle for empty promises. Your independent resources provide the permanent floor that transforms your posture, letting you love with warmth and vulnerability while protecting your boundaries. You build a lifestyle filled with meaningful personal projects and high-standard social environments that expand your mind. This complete lack of desperation transforms your energy, making you an incredibly magnetic force who commands respect from everyone who enters your perimeter. You hold the true power of the black cat because your internal throne remains perfectly stable and unaffected by changing external circumstances. You are actively building an elite empire of self-reliance, meaning you are no longer available for one-sided dynamics that exploit your kindness or drain your vital energy. If a partner fails to meet your standards or attempts to use his position to limit your growth, you possess the immediate capacity to close that door without hesitation. Experiencing a temporary wave of sadness when a connection ends is a natural part of being human, but you never let that pain dictate your future actions. Your financial sovereignty guarantees that you always keep the keys to your own freedom, moving forward into abundance. This massive paradigm shift is exactly why we are actively constructing a powerful global community of high-standard women who refuse to compromise their autonomy. We are here to support your personal advancement, shatter old societal conditioning, and provide the exact psychological strategies needed to claim your true power. When you commit to your professional development and secure your own capital, you inspire thousands of other individuals to drop the needy pick-me behavior forever. Your continuous growth contributes to a massive collective movement where women are fully respected, independent, and completely sovereign over their own destinies. Together, we are changing the modern dating landscape by proving that a secure woman is entirely complete by herself. Take a moment right now to leave a comment down below sharing how you achieved your financial independence, or if you are still on your journey, tell us the very next strategic step you are putting into practice today. By sharing your personal plan, you reinforce your own goals and help inspire our entire sisterhood to step away from dependence and claim their black cat energy. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now and like this video to ensure you never miss our strategic insights. Share this content with a woman who needs to reclaim her economic power, and join our elite community of independent thinkers today. If you want to understand how to avoid the placeholder trap, click on the card on your screen and watch the full video I've made about it. Thank you for investing in your high-standard future. Keep your focus sharp and continue building your independent empire with total elegance.
So you have watched till the end and you found me. Thank you so much for being here with me. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.